down and listen to records. Smell the cover, read all the verses. Tell me about your favorites on Vinyl and Vision.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of Vinyl and Vision. Here we are with episode 132. Today's very special guests are the Venus Twins. I don't think they actually use just Venus Twins. Jake and Matt Durding are the twins that make up the group Venus Twins. And they're an amazing band. I've been hearing about them forever now. And I have not been able to catch them live yet, but I will soon, I'm sure of it. The latest release they have is an album that is represented by a sign, which just looks like lines making triangular pattern, and it's pronounced stitching. It is released by 31G Records. It's a 5-song EP. What you're listening to is the title track off of that album called Stitching. And at the end of the episode, I'll include a short clip of another song off of that EP called It Can't End Like This. So Jake and Matt are a bundle of fun, frenetic energy, and that kind of comes through in their music and in their performances. And but just like a lot of fun to hang with, I'm sure, because talking with them just kind of went really quick. It was very engaging, and I just had a lot of fun with them. I think they're very cool guys, and can't wait to meet them at some point. But their music is also kind of fun and frenetic. It can be a little abrasive, of course, because it's, kind of noise rock, whatever music, whatever you want to call it. But they told me that they are working on a new record. New record is kind of in its work. It's going to be coming out, from what they tell me, possibly near the end of this year, which is very exciting because it'll be a full-length record. And they're growing, they're developing, they are evolving, if that's what you want to call it. And that's always very cool. It's always very cool to be, witness to a band that is kind of developing into something new, something interesting. So, just kind of taking everything that they are absorbing and, growing from there. And it's great. It's great to see. I'm sure it's going to be a pretty amazing album. This last one, Stitching, is an amazing piece of work. And they're obviously pushing themselves and challenging themselves, and I think that's great. So, what I do here is I talk about an album with musicians, typically, and that is influential and important to them. And their choice was the Mars Volta's Deloused and the Comatorium. So up front, right here, right now, I'll tell you, in case anyone is listening, waiting to hear some pearls of wisdom about Deloused and the Comatorium, I share nothing about that album. I can't. It's such a hard album to think about and to discuss. I mean, look, I get that it's a concept record. I get that it's pretty heavy content. It's kind of deals with suicide, which is, I'm not opposed to that as far as discussing it. I understand that some people get triggered and so forth, and that's not the issue. It's just that Cedric Bixler Zavala, I believe is how you pronounce his name, the lead singer and vocalist, he kind of is one of these people where he's made up his own language in a sense. So reading the short story for that this album is based on, and reading the lyrics along with it, I just have nothing to say about it. I mean, all I talk about is the key points to the story, where it comes from, and the Mars Volta themselves as a band. That's all we touch on. I really just kind of got to know the Venus Twins better throughout this conversation, and their plans, and kind of what they're up to right now, which was just the most important part, I thought. And I just think that they're a really fun band. I think that they're just incredibly entertaining. So I hope you like it. If you do, all that we ask is that you please do all the things you do with the internet: like, share, subscribe, comment, rate, review, all of those things. We greatly appreciate it. And if you care to help us out in a financial way, you can visit our website, psychicstatic.net. Make a purchase of anything through that website, and it goes towards funding this program. And I really appreciate that. So without further ado, here's our episode.
Hello. How are you
Hey,
guys?
what's up? Good. How are
Man?
you? How's it going?
It's all right. Feel a little chaotic. How are you guys doing?
A little same,
Definitely,
to
yeah,
be honest.
definitely somewhat
Yeah.
chaotic as well. So,
When did you get back from Texas?
Uh,
that was mon Sunday,
mhm.
Sunday, but we didn't sleep, so we got in, and then it was like 4 o'clock because it took so long with a layover,
Oh
and
man.
like slept 6 hours, woke up at 10, like, and my day was starting at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was
this.
fucked, but honestly, it was like the most fun and it was way worth it. Just like taking the flight immediately after our last show, basically,
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. And so were you guys just you didn't do any Venus Twin shows down there. You were just supporting somebody else?
Yeah, yeah, like just a friend that we fill in for.
That's cool. Not bad.
I mean, it's awesome. Like I don't know if I prefer it because obviously I like doing our own thing, but like no stress. We don't have to drive. We don't have to worry about the parking. No emails. We're chilling. We're hanging out,
Right.
bring our stuff and play. It's like too easy.
Right. Just come in and do your thing.
Hmm.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, Jake and Matt. I'm sorry, who is Jake and who's Matt?
I'm Jake. Hi.
Okay.
And
Jake
I'm
and
Matt.
then there's Matt, red hair. All right. Easy enough to remember, easy enough to see. It's nice to meet you guys finally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice to
nice
meet
to meet
you.
you too.
Yeah, I missed you guys at No Coast Fest a couple years ago. I guess you guys played the following night when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Are you in Texas?
No, no, I'm in Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Oh,
remember you
wow.
said, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but I was I represent the Hammer Party and they were invited to play that year, and so I went down and made a whole weekend out of it. So
Nice.
Wow,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
word.
yeah,
Okay.
you guys are from originally from Texas, right?
We're originally from, yeah, Denton is the band is from Denton, but we're from like Fort Worth, or I like to say that.
Oh, really? Why is that you guys like claim Denton as your hometown?
That's where we started. And we were going to school there at the time. That's
Oh,
where we
okay.
played most of our shows. Like I wouldn't really go out of we played Dallas a bit, Fort Worth a bit, but
But really, like we
Denton's
played
the spot.
so many shows in Denton, like all our friends were there.
Right. Yeah, I mean Denton's a pretty cool spot for like a little tiny town, really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like it. I've been there a few times actually. So where else would you play aside from Rubber Gloves?
We played at Andy's a few times.
A lot of
Yeah,
house
Andy's
shows back
house.
then too.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah,
was
that
like
was
prime time. It's just like kind of getting shut down now, but there's like a few.
Yeah, house shows like especially for loud rock bands. I mean, like I feel like it's kind of a dying breed, really.
Yeah, which really sucks.
yeah, yeah, it
That was
sucks.
some of the most fun I've ever had is just being
It's
19 and
yeah,
like an
playing that.
actual dumbass.
Yeah, right. Well, so yeah, and you guys relocated to New York.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah.
When did you do that?
That was in 2019. So we moved there, literally spent a year, and then moved back when COVID happened.
You moved back to Texas, well, when COVID happened.
Hmm.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's weird. So, I mean, so you're together as the Venus Twins for like 1 year in 2018, and then you moved to Brooklyn.
Yes. Yeah, we basically just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
2018. Um, year. So going on our second year, we moved to Brooklyn. Um, and then I mean, so yeah, we're basically from Brooklyn too, but
Yeah.
one might say.
Yeah, you might get more cred with Brooklyn, I guess, maybe than Denton.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
we claim now since we've been living here for a couple years, bunch of years now. But
That's wild, man. I fucking envy you guys. It's scary to the thought of like moving to New York and to the city like that because I mean, I love it. I love it there, but I don't know. I it's just so daunting like just to try to afford it, you know?
yeah,
Hmm.
I
And so you moved there blind? Like what was the impulse? Like what was the impetus to get you there?
we were 21 and
We were 20.
we were 20, we were about to turn 21. We always talk about this, like, had we been presented with this like thought or opportunity now, like I would be fucking too scared to do it.
Yeah,
I think
for
we were
real.
just
We were just
like dumb
dumb,
enough to like
but
go. We
we
got like
we went
one
there.
friend there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we went there on tour and this other band that we used to play in, and it was just like the sickest ever. It was like, oh, and then we had a friend who also wanted to move. I was more nervous about it
Mhm.
than Jake and our other friend. Like they both really wanted to do it. But I was kind of just like, whatever. Yeah. Like
Yeah, and
I
we
Yeah.
wanted to do something, you know.
we knew some.
Wild.
Yeah,
That's
there's
such
like
a it's such a long trip to make too. I mean, like, what was it like for you guys making the migration?
it was shocking, like super shocking, because I mean the town that we initially grew up in Texas was like super small and like not it was just not
Comparatively,
there
anyways.
was just like not
Yeah.
a lot of diversity there. And then we came here and we were like living with a ton of people in one building and like stepping out our street and there's like all this like crazy like Puerto Rican music going on and like
Yeah.
oh my God.
It felt like a festival every day.
Yeah.
Like when you would walk down like Knickerbocker or whatever, it was like
Yeah.
Right.
just
That's
super cool.
wild.
But seriously, like I think it would be very hard to do it now. I would be like
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
guessing.
It's only been a few
So
years though. It's only been like what, 6 years since you moved there?
Yeah. We're 26 now.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
So well, let's talk about Texas a little bit and like kind of growing up. So you said you grew up in Fort Worth. I mean, like, what was that like for you guys, especially, in relation to music and like, parents, like what did they like show to you back then?
Our dad was in a band, like kind of from that area growing up, maybe
mhm.
Springtown or something, but
Yeah.
he always was showing us music as we were growing up.
So
Our
what's
mom not so
Yeah. No, not really. She wasn't a big fan. Well, what
much.
was he showing you?
I mean he showed us like well, he did show us the Mars Volta, which
Yeah.
well I assume we'll be getting into when
Oh,
we were
cool.
like 4 or something or
Yeah, we were
five.
super young.
And like he could always tell when we liked something because like we would both be like really quiet because I
Yeah.
guess maybe we were hyper kids probably. So like we would like
We'd space
listen.
out and just daydream.
I just remember like daydreaming to that and like even like Red Hot Chili Peppers or Foo Fighters, Nirvana, like Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah. Okay.
That
And your
stuff.
dad was showing you all of this music
Hmm.
Hmm.
at,
Yeah.
at 4 years old. So this is, well, I can't do the math. What year would this be?
Like
19
2002.
oh yeah, sorry. 2000,
Yeah,
2002,
we're
2003.
Okay.
Like just whenever we were driving to school, he'd put something on or
yeah,
whatever.
I mean really like 4 is probably when it, it's about as far as I like remember being told that this happened, but like
Right.
Yeah,
school or like when we were playing baseball when we were like
that was big.
7 through 12, like we were huge into baseball and our dad was like sometimes a coach or just like an assistant coach and like we'd
Okay.
always go in the truck and listen
Right.
to Butters and shit, you know like
Yeah, that's quiet. So he seems like he may have been like a weird guy in your town.
He was a troublemaker, yeah, back then.
when he was in high school he was a troublemaker.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
He was
I
a
cool.
mean,
punk and he was a punk and I don't think he knew it.
yeah.
Yeah,
For,
yeah. Well,
he's
so
a
what did he play?
He played
he played
guitar and
guitar, he
sang.
sang. I'm sorry. Yeah, he played guitar and sang.
Okay. And so do you remember his band? Do you remember what that was like?
I mean, we never went out and saw him. He didn't play a whole lot. Like after we were born, like yeah, like he totally took a back seat with it. But they would play every now and then.
I
They
remember
were
him,
awesome.
and he would like play us his music and stuff, which was always really cool.
I was like, I didn't know that you could do this, like you
Yeah,
could play
right.
this song, like
Yeah.
That's
kind
kind
of
of like even like a better like kind of introduction to music than just giving you a record or playing stuff for you is to actually show you that you could actually record it and put it out yourself.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish we had gotten into it sooner because like I'm really just now starting to like find this love for recording myself and recording whatever. Like we got like these like Squire guitars or whatever when we were like 10 or something and like I didn't really pick it up till I was 14. Like it just kind of like
Sat there.
sat there like in a closet or something.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I wish like we would have gotten right in on it.
I know.
Yeah,
But
right. Like today you on Instagram you see all these like 4 year olds and 6 year olds and stuff just like virtuosos just like fucking ripping it, just doing
Yeah,
yeah,
crazy
literally.
shit.
like that could have been us. Yeah.
That could have
Like,
been you. No?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not doing so bad now. I mean, shit, it's 26 now, and like you guys, are on 31G now.
Hmm.
Yeah, well,
How many records do you have out right now? It's like four, five?
We have like four releases. I guess like two like albums and then yeah, two EPs.
Cool. All
right.
right. So
Good.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty good amount of work for a short period of time, and good work at that. I mean, and you guys are progressing, which is also a pretty cool thing, to kind of see you guys, from like your first record, which I listened to the latest EP, Stitching. It's like, you're making this evolution, I guess you could call it, right?
For
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yeah.
sure.
You're
It
kind of
definitely.
conscious of this, you're aware of this.
Yeah, like it's
Yes and no. Like we just like at the end of the day, I want to make shit that I want to make, and like it's never a point. Oh, we got to switch it up this time. I don't
Right.
ever want to be like that. If I want to make something that sounds somewhat the same, like I'll do it. But
it's just kind of weird because like it just so happens that the amount of time it takes to record it and put it out, like I've already listened to a bunch of new shit that I'm like digging at the moment and are just like experimenting this way now. So our next release is gonna sound way different too. And it's like,
our taste has changed. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, because you're young too. I mean, like, thinking about like myself. I mean, I'm 45 now, and when I was 26, I mean, like, I think the jump that I made from 21, somewhere around like 18 or to my early 20s into like late mid to late 20s was like huge things were happening musically. Just like like so much stuff was being introduced to me, and I was just like devouring stuff and kind of like, moving in a different direction musically as far as like what I wanted to do. I mean, so you say you can kind of see yourself doing that now?
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's the age. I don't know if we'll ever like find some. I mean, I'm sure we will find something in, I mean, our style that is like will be the same, mostly, roughly,
Yeah.
changing a little bit here and
Maybe
there,
I'm
but
just excited about like people making music, and I always like finding or like our friends and stuff too. Like they're all changing and shit too, and
Yeah.
I, maybe it's something to do with here too, and just like constantly talking to people and being in the community of like
Right.
yeah.
ever
Yeah.
changing.
Do you guys go out to shows often?
Uh, I
Not,
mean,
well,
it's
it's
hard
been
to get out
winter.
to be honest, like in the winter,
It's
yeah.
been winter, so like no.
Oh yeah.
But but yeah, like during the spring or summer.
You know what? Actually, lately we have been, well, I
We
mean,
went
we've been trying
we went
to.
last night
We did go to,
to see we went last night to see horrors, and it was awesome.
Oh, right.
Man.
yeah, I know you've had Christian on here, so.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. I also I work with Curran a lot.
Oh,
Oh,
So
cool.
he
sweet.
was
Yeah.
in Body Stuff, the opening band.
Yes,
Oh, hell yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy to know. I don't know if you got to talk with him last night or not.
We
We
did.
did,
We
yeah.
met a couple
He's
times. Yeah,
super
he's super
sweet.
nice.
Okay, cool. Great. And who was the other band? It was Body Stuff and
Facet.
Facets. I don't know them.
They're from like San Francisco or something, or I guess
Okay.
Bay Area.
They were awesome though.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah. What is it like?
I just like noise rock, like but like the drummer was like playing really hard and yelly, two singers, three piece.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
pretty much like a lead vocalist, and then like the bassist was also singing a bit, which I think is super sick. Like having two singers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you take a certain pride in bassist singers?
I do, for sure. Like I actually always have All American Rejects, even
Oh
like the
yeah.
name
Really?
of a
Yeah, that shit.
freaking
Yeah.
pop band or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's go back to that stuff. Like, so, growing up as kids, obviously your dad was showing you a lot of music. So, I mean, like, what do you feel was like your kind of own personal gravitation towards?
Uh, Probably. I mean, to go back as early as possible, it'd be this the Foo Fighters video for
Oh,
what is it,
dude, that
All
was
My
it.
Life.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they're playing in like some stadium, and as soon as I saw that, or we saw that, it was like,
Yeah, it was just something like I loved when people were just not screaming, but I was a kid.
Yeah. Big
Um,
audiences, kind of like
I
super
love,
exciting.
yeah, I loved
uh,
like heavy stuff that kind of made me jump around and shit growing up.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
That's
good way of
cool.
putting it. Like that was like the earliest I would
That's
say.
what,
It's like,
yeah. So I was like always into that, and then I mean we like went through like different. transitions and stuff, like as you get like introduced to, like the pop world and it's shoved into your whatever when you're like 12. So,
Right.
oh, we were into Bruno Mars, freaking,
Yeah, we were into, stuff like that. But
you know,
we were also in band. So I played sax, Jake played trombone, and so like we were really into like uh
jazz and classical stuff too.
jazz and stuff.
Hmm.
But also, I mean, I remember like learning Careless Whisper on
On
sax, and I thought that was like the sickest thing ever. It's
Yeah.
funny, but
Huh. That's
uh,
cool. Was that so? That was your first kind of take on playing music, playing instruments?
I would say so.
Yeah, a bit. I mean, I think my first was honestly like learning some stuff from my grandma on piano when I was
Yeah.
like fourth grade or something.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I got like serious about trombone and I just like played every fucking day.
Yeah. So where are your horns now?
We still got ours. Like, I
My
actually just recorded with somebody for some.
Really?
Yeah, I got a friend who's like scoring something, and then like he needed sax. So I was like, whatever.
Wow, wild. That's great. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you guys went to college, right, for music?
Mhm, yeah.
briefly.
Oh, you didn't complete it?
I did not complete it. I did not. Yeah, no. I guess it was like a year and a half. I was in music school.
Yeah. What do you guys think you like kind of pulled away from that, if anything?
Oh gosh.
A lot of just like theory shit, which is kind of it's like hindering for a little bit. Like, and I'm trying to think about writing songs because I'm always like trying to fix it as opposed to just like feeling it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a big issue for me for a while because like I would think it's too simple if I was gonna play 5-1 or 1-4-5-1 in the chord progression. It's like, nah, it's got to be something crazy and like, which is just ridiculous to think about now, like in hindsight. I mean, even that our music is like kind of doesn't, fit that, but
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
I
I mean, it
think,
kind of does. It's like, especially in the new record or the new EP, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's definitely, I feel like there is some kind of like jazz influence on it.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely actually like stuff. Yeah, yeah, and it was just kind of like straying away from normal chords and stuff. For the most part, we wanted to make something ridiculous and crazy for the longest time, or just different.
Hmm.
Aside from like sitting down in a tux or suit or whatever.
Yeah, that could be also jazz influenced, the fact that I didn't want to fucking do it ever again
Yeah.
for a brief moment.
And it
I like
sucks
it
'cause
now. I'm chill now.
I really thought, I wanted to do this shit, but it turns out like I don't know, we just started going to shows a lot more. And then we ended up joining this band, Acid Carousel, and it was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want
The
to
jazz shit.
the jazz shit, the classical shit. Like
Hmm.
Yeah,
playing
it's like-
rock music is the shit, like
Well, especially being your own bosses. I mean, like, your band, Venus Twins, is just you two. I mean, and it's just like you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah, totally.
definitely definitely feel
And
I
we've
hope
like,
people
yeah,
yeah.
we've like argued about stuff in the past too about the way certain things should be, but I think we're coming more into it now where it's like we're not really compromising. We're just like showing each other shit and making it better between the two of us.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a interesting dynamic because it's just the two of you, you know? I mean, so like I mean with my experience talking to duos, other people that were just like a two pieces, I mean, and it gives you a lot less to argue about. I mean, it's just like you guys agree to do it or you don't.
Yeah, it's like yes or no.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, as opposed to being in a band with like two, three other people, whatever it might be, and it's just like there's so much more voting that has to be done and like so much more discussion about, who wants to do what or whatever.
Hmm. It
So,
can be good though, because like you miss out on the extra elements and the extra like input.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, do you feel like it's a little limiting because it's only the two of you? Like, do you wish that you could have a third person to just kind of fill some stuff in?
Yeah, so funny you say that. We just started playing along to some tracks, like with our friend. He's doing some playback stuff.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And so I guess now we're having a machine do some of these extra sounds and like playing to like a click and stuff, which is crazy to think about. Like it feels wrong, but it's also like
It sounds really full though.
sounds
Yeah.
And it's interesting to do that with like as a noise band or like whatever you want to call us. Like it's it's funny like that we're playing to a click with in-ears and shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like
yeah.
but that's the way I like it now. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually kind of thought about that just listening to the latest release. I mean, like, for the recording of it sounds kind of so full, and I haven't been able to see you guys perform live, but I did try to watch some live videos of you playing, and I'm just like, like how are you going to recreate that, or does it even matter to try to recreate the recording exactly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does matter to us. And I think for years it was always a struggle with me, like, am I doing enough? And then like I'd probably be overdoing it here and there. But it's sick because I would also experiment with sounds and like have shit that wasn't on the record. We just ended up being like super noisy, and I was using 3 amps. I was using 2 bass amps and a guitar amp.
Hmm.
But I think it's super important to make it sound, somewhat like the record.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Have a two as a
As
two
a
piece. Yeah,
two-piece,
they
yeah.
give a different experience, a live experience. There's so much energy with a live performance that we wanted to capture with stitching. So I hope we captured. I felt like we did, but
Right. Um, that kind of like touches on something I wanted to ask you about. I mean, we didn't start talking about the album yet. The Mars Volta's Deloused and the Comatorium, which is the album that you chose. But I was watching an interview with Omar and Cedric from 2003, which is when the album was released, and they said that anyone that comes to see them in hopes of hearing them play exactly like the album might as well stay home, listen to the album, and light a candle. So I mean, like, so what's your take on improvising your music during live sets?
I think it's so awesome. If you're like a good enough musician to do that shit, do it, please.
gosh, okay. You saying that it makes me so sad actually, because like now that we are like we've been doing tracks this year, it's just like it does take away some room for improvisation and just
Right.
like weird things that we can throw in there. And we always love like our interludes and shit and just like fucking around.
Yeah, that like them doing that kind of stuff live, Mars Volta was a huge inspiration of just whenever it was just Matt and me playing. There's a lot of time where we would just stretch things out, sometimes for like 10 minutes. Like we
Accidentally.
just do like a drum solo for fucking 10 minutes and
Right. Right. But you guys have that like legit kind of like built-in psychic connection, right?
I
it's
think
yeah,
so.
There is
telepathy.
some telepathy of some sort, right?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
there's 100% some telepathy going on, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That makes the whole improvising thing kind of that much more exciting because it's just like, and as an audience, watcher, like, watching you guys do your thing. I mean, if we don't know what you could possibly do, like, like you might know the songs and the recording, but I mean, like, to think that you could just go off on whatever tangent for however long you want, and then that just end up back in the pocket, like on a moment's notice.
Like it's fun improvising like that, but then there's also built-in places in our set where there's like room for improvisation, yet we like know like the right hits and we just look at each other
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
when to it's really weird. There's like half so it's like half improvisation, half like there's a set tempo here.
Absolutely. Right, right. It,
It'll
it's up to you guys to make that little slight variation where the audience might not know that's happening, but you guys obviously do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That
counting. Yeah,
song.
I mean the telepathy thing. Yeah, I mean we're counting, or it's
Yeah.
practice improvisation. Like
Mhm.
or
Right.
surrounding the improvisation.
It's the illusion, man. It's like being magicians, not musicians.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
a great point. That's yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you know the magic behind it, you know the secrets. So we won't divulge too much into that. But so speaking of the album that you guys chose, Mars Volta's D-Last and the Comatorium. So I mean, you're saying your dad was showing you the Mars Volta since 2003 when you guys were 4. But I mean, when do you remember the first time you heard that album specifically?
I can't say that I remember the first time, but I know a very young time in my life where like drunk ship lanterns or whatever the fuck. And I would just sit out the window.
Or like look out the window. Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah, look out the window and just think about some weird alien ship and
Yeah, because
just oh dude, it was so sick. Like I obviously I had never heard anything like it before, but it's almost like the like it wasn't even music to me. It was something so much more as a kid. It was like a story or like
yeah, it's just mind blowing. And I still feel this way about the record. It's like such a trip, you know? It's
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that it was like a story because it is a story, basically.
yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, you know that now. I mean, like, do you like how well do you know like the background of this album now?
Just
uh definitely, I mean, somewhat like about, I mean, I know Cedric's friend. Wait,
or it's yeah, that dude
is
like
someone
passed
wait, so
away from the band or whatever. And so
there's
Yeah,
a
yeah, it's a little confusing. I think there's like a few, based on the research that I did, there was a few different accounts of things, but I think what it really is that this guy Julio Venegas, which was kind of like a, I guess like a lifelong friend, a good friend and a role model of theirs, who actually went through this experience of like, I guess he was a very strange. He's an artist first and foremost, but from the way they described him, like he was kind of like a constantly troubled person. Like I don't know. He was kind of like all in the sake of art, kind of like being kind of self-destructive. So ultimately, I guess he took a mixture of like rat poison and morphine, and it was probably a suicide attempt. So it ultimately landed him in a coma for about a week. And when he came out of it, he actually committed suicide.
uh
it's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I mean, like, so that's why I was asking, like, I mean, obviously as 4 year olds, so you're probably not getting this, but I mean, like, even now, listening to it, as you get older and stuff. I mean, like, did you ever read the short story that was the accompany to this?
I read some fan stuff one time
Okay.
when I
I,
was just like reading way too much into it, but I don't think it was like ever, like picked up by the band or anything.
yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
probably didn't. I
Well, so like, did you have a copy of this on CD as kids growing up, or?
definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
this and Francis and me, I remember having
Yeah. And so the short story wasn't in the liner notes.
Not well,
see,
maybe it
maybe
could
it's
have been,
like
but
maybe what you know.
also like when we had it, I was like so young that I wasn't reaching for that kind of stuff. I was just
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes though, I feel like we'd look through that, you know, we'd look
yeah.
through.
But the words are so fucking strange anyway. Like I wouldn't have been able to read it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really confusing. I mean, like, I think I emailed you guys a while back saying that this album's a motherfucker because it really is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, just trying to grasp all of this stuff. I mean, like, I actually really don't have anything to say about any of these songs specifically. I mean, all I have to share about this album really is the fact that, it's a concept album. And it all kind of revolves around essentially this Julio Venegas person that was friends with Cedric and Omar. There was also two other friends of theirs. Like I guess Cedric was in a band called The Fall on Deaf Ears, and two members of that band in 1997 died in a car accident together. Sarah Reiser and Laura Beard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and this guy Julio Venegas, I guess I think he committed suicide around the same time, like 97-ish. So, obviously it had an effect on them, losing people close to them. And yeah, I mean, but Julio is kind of the center point because he actually they kind of took his experience with the whole kind of going into a coma and I guess kind of fictionalized what they imagined him being in a coma may have been like. So like the whole album essentially, like, kind of plays out like a play.
Yeah.
So like from the first song, that Sonnet Lumière, whatever, I don't know how you pronounce it, it's French. It means sound and light in French. So I kind of see that as like the setting of the scene, like literally like the opening of the curtain and like, kind of setting up the play essentially.
So
right?
sick,
And then
yeah.
so every song kind of just moves through the short story, which if you haven't read the short story, I tried reading it. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It was just like 5 or 6 pages, and it's just like, you know how he's making up all these words?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's a lot of that, and it's so it doesn't really feel like it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like because I had heard so many, interpretations of it, I kind of understood what was happening, but I'd like it's not an enjoyable read. I really didn't like it.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But but
Listen,
so you obviously you went through this like even as like a 4-year-old kid. You guys like heard this and kind of like made this up in your mind too. Like you kind of saw it in a sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the quality of just the way it was like every sound is just so strange and unique.
Hmm.
So there's really it's so transportive, like there's no other way to listen to it except just to like trip out.
Yeah, I mean the guitar is freaking all delayed and or whatever, and it's just like that like it's one thing, and Cedric's voice is so like alien and the drums
Hmm.
are crazy. It's like
And
yeah.
energetic, totally like spastic energy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, considering you chose this album and like, aside from the whole kind of concept album thing about it, I mean, like, what do you think was like the thing that kind of landed most kind of importantly with you when it comes to like making music?
It is I think just like the experimentation that they had and like the freedom of like just from anything of like the lyrics just being so strange and either well thought up or just like maybe he was dismissive in some of them and just like quick.
The noise in
But
between, like just yeah, like the improvisation in there, like that. These are all like elements that we didn't really understand, when you're a little kid, but like when you come back to it as a teenager or something, it's just and playing music, writing music, like that you can't forget that.
yeah,
It's like this is
they're not even songs really. Like some of the times I'm thinking about it, it's not even a song.
it's
Yeah.
just painting for your ears,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
experimental.
So is that what you think you're doing with your music now? You're kind of just like making like a audio visual?
I think with the last record, that was definitely that way.
Yeah, the intention.
Or just the way that we were feeling, trying to really capture that.
Yeah, like taking your emotions day to day, month to month, and like painting that, like taking this bucket of your shit and like, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can see that. I mean, like, I listened to it pretty closely and I definitely hear you kind of like, explaining that and also the visual itself, in the artwork of the album itself, like the whole even the idea of calling it stitching but having it just be like the visual kind of lines.
Mhm.
Um it's yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know if you think of it as a concept album or not.
Oh, definitely. I would say
Yeah.
so. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, it's short, but we have, our intro, and then we have like two. It's really like three songs. We have like an intro, and then the interlude is track three, which is just like a twin telepathy type song.
Sure,
They
sure.
all speak the same language, I think. Yeah. And
Yeah, and it seems kind of depressed.
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and
Yeah,
arranged for sure.
the
We
rain.
were we were going through it back then.
It's crazy, like, because we definitely don't feel that way anymore, and so
Yeah, I scream less. So does
it,
Matt.
yeah, it's hard almost to replicate it live, but I can still like get there, sometimes. But it's just like the songs have changed. It's a
Yeah.
different feeling now.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I was actually so, I wanted to kind of like get an idea of what your shows are like because I've known for a long time now that you guys are kind of known for having these like pretty amazing shows and you're a pretty great tight band. But I also couldn't find like your gigs, like your tour dates. What is your touring looking like right now?
Oh,
Right. It's so chill right now, to be honest with
it's
you.
it's actually awesome.
It's
Like
yeah, a much needed like chiller on that side of things. Last year, We toured a couple times. It was like 60 shows we played.
60 or 70 shows the year, and the year before that was like 100 something. And so this year, I don't know how many we're gonna play. It's like not that many,
Yeah.
and it's great. It's just like figuring our shit out.
Trying to focus more on like making a really awesome record that I fuck with. And
Mm.
we have like something that, I mean, we're trying to talk with doing like a Europe thing in the future, just for when
When we
our
release that
record's almost
record.
done. So he, like the dude we're talking to, he's trying to book us something when we have a date secured on it.
Oh, okay. Full length record?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it would be this year though.
Huh, cool. That sounds great. Um, because you're mentioning it, so something about this band that I found, they said that I guess in describing this album, they say nourished by the work of such notable mindfuckers as the German future rock band Can and Euro film artists Werner Herzog and Federico Fellini, the Mars Volta say they write songs egotistically on a plane of consciousness that depends on available enlightenment.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, how would you say you write songs?
Just like that, actually. I feel like what they're kind of what they're getting at is being open to like the heavens, like receiving some sort of transmissions or whatever's around us. Just
Right.
being open to like a lot of different subject matter.
And they're like living, their artist brain is living in this extra world, like this plane of, and whatever shit hits them, like this is like what they bring back and then play or whatever. It's, and I know they worked with Rick Rubin on it, so, and I know he's a
Hmm.
weirdo, but his book is fucking awesome.
So, yeah.
So
And that speaks a lot to like improvisation too. We're kind of like the same way. At least whenever we were writing more songs like bass and drums, we were definitely doing that where we would just improvise for like 3 hours and then stop whenever something was really great that we just happened to land upon. And it's similar now where we're really like, okay, it's about the moment, the feeling, like let's get the take where it feels this way. It's like trying to just take whatever you have
yeah,
or here.
less thinking, more just like
Right.
this happened, if there's mistakes, whatever, like doesn't matter. Like if it sounds better, feels better, like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys called it egotistical. I mean, if you had to think of a word to describe your impulse, what do you think it would be?
Um, Maybe it is a little indulgent,
I
self-indulgent of just like being uh
I think
like if it's like more emo or something, then we're definitely can be
mine
self-indulgent.
mine has changed. Whereas before I would have described it as maybe somewhat just the feeling first. Now it's definitely more childlike.
That's true.
I feel like is the best way I could describe it. Like for our new thing and like how I'm feeling as of lately, it's just like I'm tapping into my dumb kid self.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if I like I'm drawing on my desk right now with Sharpies because it just looks so cool, Like, fuck it. Like whatever I want to write or it's like it's nothing, yeah. Nothing.
Weird. Okay. Well, so then thinking about this new album, and you don't have to give away very much, but I mean, like compared to what we were just saying about stitching being like feeling like a depressed piece, would you say that this new album will seem happy?
There's some tracks that are happy just
There's some
out of how we've been feeling, but I think it's still very eccentric and like wild because that is just in our blood where we kind of feel fucked up, kind of
yeah.
plastic.
It's
Yeah.
definitely more dumb, like not dumb as in like not like mathy or whatever. It's just like whatever,
It's
like
just more playful.
playful is a better word
Playful.
than dumb. Playful,
Playful. I think that's a great word. Yeah. That I mean, I haven't heard it yet, unfortunately, but I mean, I think that sounds right from what you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
Huh.
thanks.
I hope people dig it because I like it, and
That's
we
all.
originally started it out as a different band. Like
What
this
do
was
you
gonna
mean? You mean the new album?
Yeah, we got back from Europe with Whores, and we were just so like busted on our set, and so we just needed a way to get out all these like funny, goofy feelings, and so we started another band. Basically, wrote an entire record. Like, fuck, this is pretty good. Let's
this
just
should
do
just be the new Venus Ones record.
yeah, and it sounds like us anyway because it's us making music. So like,
But
duh.
there was no one else involved. It was just still you two.
Yep.
Yeah, and you mentioned this earlier. It's like if it's us two, it's not a new band. It's just whatever Venus Twins want to do. You know, we're making music together.
I
No
mean,
rule.
you could call it something else, I guess, if you really wanted to.
And we did at first, but now I don't want to. I'm like Venus Twins, you know.
It's like we got a contract to fulfill. We gotta keep it at Venus Twins.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta keep it like noisy bass and drums. It is limiting in a way, you know,
Yeah.
to
Right.
keep it just bass and drums.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, and so what do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel like you're saying it's limiting, but I mean, do you feel limited in what you're going to be able to create?
No, honestly,
Not anymore. Not
yeah,
anymore.
it definitely used to in the past, but
Yeah, there were days at the studio when I was like, bro, like I can't do this right now. Like there's one of me and like
and there's 12 of me on drums.
yeah, like if we did argue about I'd be trying to play this bass part and like this melody on quote unquote guitar at the same, you know what I mean, at the same time like I'm thinking about two different parts and Jake is like, you know, like leave more
Right.
space, you know, like it's just not working. I'm like,
How,
but in my head I'm hearing both parts and like
Right. But that's the thing is it's like as a two piece, especially like when you go to perform, I mean, like you just said playing guitar, and I was gonna ask you about that because I mean you're a bass player primarily, or at least for this band, but I mean, the idea of like incorporating another instrument, something like guitar or whatever, is just like, well, you're not gonna be able to do that live if you record it.
right?
mm-hmm. And
Yeah, that's where like having friends can come in and help. Like if we had like a third person or just playing with tracks again and like just pre-recording things and
Right, right. Yeah, I keep on forgetting about that. I guess that's actually a pretty common practice these days.
it
yeah,
is, which is like definitely for a long time I was like I like didn't want to do it. It just felt like cheating and stuff, but it's like ultimately it's not, you know. We still wrote the songs.
I I want a full show.
I want a full I'm
I
gonna
want it to sound full. Like
try my freaking darndest to put on an awesome show regardless of how many tracks we're using. You know what I mean? Regardless
Yeah.
if I play the part that's hard or not, you know.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I mean, you're all in regardless, right? So I mean, like, I mean, I don't, I guess it's a controversial thing, right? I mean, I don't know what your experience is like seeing other bands that are doing this, but I mean, like, in your situation, I think that you don't really have much of a choice.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless it'd be
It's
like add more people, you
I mean, you
know?
can't play with your fucking feet. I mean, what?
Exactly.
yeah.
I've been telling y'all. And
I
I
mean,
kind
people
of
try. I mean, like, there's this band that I know, Bedtime Magic, and the drummer actually plays like bass pedals, kind of like what's her name? Donna from Juna.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
the drummer's fucking playing, but he's got like one of those bass pedals at his feet. So he'll use like his left foot off the hi-hat and like play some bass notes on this fucking,
Oh,
yeah, it's
Brian
fucking.
Sheffield does that shit too, you know.
Does he use that?
Yeah. Not in Lightning Bolt, but I think in like his
In Black
solo
Bus.
project, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
Okay.
definitely hitting something though. I've seen like when we saw him live, like
It's
he was
hard to tell what
definitely
he's hitting. It's just fucking so
Hitting
frantic.
everything.
It's just like it's like the fucking Snoopy thing with the arms just kind of like revolving around. It's like
yeah, legit, yeah. I mean, so
uh
there are ways, I guess, to do it, like to really step it up, but like I'm trying to run around more. I'm trying to play bass less so I can interact with the crowd more, you know.
right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, man. It's tough little place to be in.
it is. But yeah, I
You
guess
just
we got to
gotta
make
remember,
compromises.
just
you
remember
know?
why we do it, and like most importantly, to have fun and express ourselves, and whatever we have to do that. Just do it.
Right, right. So let me see. Let me go over a little bit of this. Let's see. Very brief overview of how the Mars Volta came to be. Omar and Cedric wanted to take a 6-month break at the height of At the Drive-In success. You guys were fans of At the Drive-In?
Yeah.
We like had the drive-in,
They
but
came
Mars.
that came later.
Yeah, that
Yeah, you went backwards, right?
Yeah.
yes, yeah, Volta
Okay.
first.
All right. So they were ultimately voted against by the rest of the band, so they decided to make their own project. Um, how would you guys feel about a 6 month break?
Ironically, I kind of feel like that's nearly what did happen to us. Like we've been now, if I took 6 months off of writing music for Venus Twins, I would
Be the end of the world.
yeah,
Let me
I'd
tell
be
you, be the
fucking
end of the world.
miserable, dude.
Because
Yeah.
we taking like a week off, like if like I guess for Christmas and stuff when we were at our parents, but it was like felt like I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like I like just my creative brain. Like I think we were doing like improv comedy with our little brother and
Like putting on shows for them at night because we were just going so fucking bananas that I
yeah,
gotta be,
like drawing on Christmas presents, like just being as dumb as possible. Like I have to do something fun and stupid and
Right.
artistic. Or I don't know. Like I don't want to read into it too much, but 6 months would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like, so they wanted a break because the band had just been going so hard. I mean, like for years, you can imagine, like I don't know exactly because I didn't get into the details of it, but I mean, At the Drive-In was like one of these bands which is like incredibly explosive live. And if you can imagine them being on tour like back then, late 90s, early 2000s, as what they probably did at least 100 dates a year, at least every
Yeah.
year.
And then probably
So, I mean, like, so they were burning out, and that's why they kind of wanted to take a 6 month break. I mean, and this, like, that last album, Relationship at Command, I mean, it was blowing up. It was getting them very, very big. I mean,
totally.
so not to compare you guys, in that regard. I mean, like, I think you guys are doing really well. I don't know if it's fair to say that you are experiencing the same type of success, but
oh gosh. I mean, you saying that and you saying that also, Jake, like, yeah, it definitely feels like it's their success aside, just playing so much, grinding so much, and not realizing what you want to do and why you're doing it. I think we were playing so many DIY shows and like tours just because
Our relationship to it changed. It became less of I want this to like I need to do this
this
because
is
this is what I
awesome.
have been
Like,
doing, like, and this is what I have liked.
yeah, it became that. Like, it was like, first it was like, this is amazing, awesome, this is what I want to do. And then it was like,
Yeah.
I've just been doing it too long. And not that I'm not trying to DIY, be DIY or whatever, but
right.
at a certain point, it was like, shit, I like writing music and living a life in one place for a while. And I like friends, you know? Oh,
Right.
it's hard to keep your friends.
When you're touring all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If like it was under different circumstances, I'd fucking do it. Absolutely. But sometimes it just gets, it gets hard whenever like it's when the bad outweighs the good, when shit goes wrong and stuff.
Right, right. Or when you're struggling. I mean, like, not every gig is great. Not every gig is going to pay you what you need or exactly. I mean, and like, finances are tight. I mean, like I was saying, living in New York is fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
there's a certain amount of like, you know, uh necessity to being in your band and like, kind of working at it, and like you guys are working at it all the time. And that's the thing is it's like, aside from like the creative aspect of like writing music and like getting in the room and jamming together and recording and putting out a record, I mean, you guys are also focusing a lot on the promotional aspect of being in the band. I mean, like, uh, the thing that kind of sticks out to me the most at this point is like how you guys were actually on that Mr. Beast show.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was that like?
Dude, that show
It
is so
was
sick.
it was
It
like
was awesome.
it was like the best week of my life. It was actually so fun.
It was a
It was
whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there a few days before we even started the challenge. We were just like in a hotel and like some of our best friends were doing it too. Disaster Artist is their band. And it's just like,
Yeah,
God, it was so fun.
we were up in the hotel like making music.
Yeah.
Like we were just doing like fucking whatever while we're there.
I mean,
And when the challenge started, it was awesome. We just got to show our like the fun sides of us and
Yeah.
like music aside. And
yeah, I mean, like the edit, you don't really see us like messing around, but I swear, like we were making awesome ass jokes the whole
dude,
time.
we had so many jokes and
They didn't
fucking
put them in
it
the
in.
edit, but whatever. Maybe we'll get a behind the
Yeah.
scenes someday. Like,
Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe. Oh,
uh,
that'd be cool. I mean, so that's so crazy. I mean, like that's an incredibly like, uh what do they call that? Like exposure thing, you
Yeah.
know? So I mean, has that helped out? I mean, have you seen there were kind of like a result from that?
Just in like, I mean, like here and there on Instagram and stuff, mainly on TikTok.
really on
That's where all
TikTok,
that shit
yeah,
is.
like kids and shit. I guess
Um,
like
and funny enough, we kind of rushed like stitching, with JP and like 31G because we knew this shit was gonna come out. So we like had to get a single out by then and stuff. Um, yeah, so we were like trying to time everything right.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's like another one of those things that's like taking up all this friggin' mental bandwidth. Is just like timing things out, like, planning for everything that you have to do and like, that whole promotional machine. I mean,
Yeah. It's tough. We have some help
Yeah,
now, which
we
is good. We just got this manager who's like helping us out with shit. It's really helpful just
hmm.
to think about it slightly less.
I mean, video wise and photos wise, like posting, like I feel like we used to like that a lot more. Like we used to post a lot more, but now it's just like I think it's just so hard sometimes to like want to do it, and then there is that element of like worrying about is this gonna get as many likes, like which is bullshit. But yeah, it's a hard thing to do every day and like think about. I'm not even taking that like many photos on my phone. Like my
Yeah.
perfect Instagram is like once a month I'll post maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because it takes time. I can't stand it. Just like that whole idea, like it just the time that it takes to like, take whatever it is, whether, video, photograph, whatever, and then like thinking about like, oh, what do I need to say here? What's got to be said? Like, and then like you got to
Like,
fucking type it all out and shit, and like, ugh, then cross fucking, what do they call that? Like cross promotion through the different fucking media
yeah.
feeds.
And
It,
like
Such bullshit.
yeah, I don't really get
yeah.
the point because like usually if I have something to say, I'll express that in music or whatever. Like I really don't. I've been like the older I get, the less I want to be. Don't forget about me today
A content
online. You
creator or
know?
whatever, which
Right.
I guess you have to do it in this industry. And like here and there, we're having fun with it. Like that's like the most important thing we keep reminding ourselves is like if we find a way to have fun with it, like that's how it's gonna be good. And I mean, it's even like it takes so much time, even just commenting back to people because I want to be funny or some shit, you know. But
Yeah.
even something as simple as that, it's like
Right.
it's hard. The whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I can imagine, man. Yeah. It's not great. I mean, you say that it's kind of a necessity for in the industry, and I agree with you. It is. It's just a weird part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird world we're living in.
Someone was joking about like telling like Prince like however long ago to like be making TikToks and stuff back then. Like it's just like thinking about those people doing or like Queen or something, just like
Like if
doing
they,
shit like that'd be
it
so
like
funny. Like, if
yeah,
that existed,
or Kurt Cobain especially like
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
what like
Right. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how to get past that. You just got to reach a certain level, I guess. I mean, and so that means keep hitting the road and keep on doing that, going that route.
Yeah.
and
And like Matt was saying, there's like fun ways to do it if you just really like make it tied together with the music and the artistry, then I think that's what's it can be special that way.
yeah, as long as for me it's like if I can be dumb with it, like I guess like faux ignorance or dumbness about something like
hmm
that. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Well, I mean, are you kind of a big fan of comedy, or you do try to, keep things funny?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we like funny things. We've been known to
I've been known to
partake.
I love Andy Kaufman. I'm a
Yeah.
big Bachman fan, Robin Williams and shit too. But like,
We like the weirdos also. I mean, I also like we like Jim Gaffigan as kids. So like I like some family
we
humor
like really
shit.
good, wholesome,
Wasn't Nate Bargatze is awesome.
Oh
He's so
yeah, I like
no
him.
curse words, no.
nah, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
fine.
we definitely we like the ones who say fuck and stuff.
Sure, sure, yeah. There, I mean, like, actually, I remember seeing that in your bio, how you listed a couple of things that were influences to you, like, bands and musicians, but you also said that there was, comedians that you listed in there too. I mean, so like, what do you think the relationship to comedy and music is?
Um, I like the like nihilistic approach that comedians can take sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Sure.
putting that into music of just like not only like the process of making music, like it doesn't matter, just fucking like, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Or but then again, also like making music and or like lyrics and stuff and themes.
It's kind of like not overthinking it, and I don't yeah, it hasn't been super funny in the past. Like stitching is not that funny, but
Mainly,
uh
but mainly we like to bring a lighter side to a show and stuff too. I still want
oh
people to
yeah,
smile, even though it's crazy music. Like I want people to have a good time.
the
Right.
live effect is
Yeah.
Yeah.
there. Like, we like doing goofy shit here and there. Just keep it lighthearted, but also like fucking rock, whatever, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, I can see that. I mean, I've definitely seen some videos with you guys that you could definitely do that. Going back to the Mars Volta, have you ever seen them play live?
No, man.
Unfortunately not, but we've watched tons of videos. Like,
They're out on tour with Deftones right now, aren't they?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and Fleshwater, I believe, yeah.
So you're not gonna catch any of those gigs?
I think
We haven't even looked. Are they playing? They're probably playing New York, actually.
I could imagine that they would. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you know what? We should because I we like Deftones too. We definitely fuck with Deftones. Like,
Mhm.
okay,
Huh.
maybe we'll go. You know, it's like we probably should. I heard they're not playing
That's the thing. Yeah, we heard that they're playing most of the new record. Like
a
Oh,
new
just
one.
yeah, the one that just got leaked or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which,
you're not fucking with that?
I mean, I'm sure it's awesome.
yeah, like I am a real fan. So just seeing them do their thing IRL in real life would be awesome.
Hmm.
But I want to hear like them go off on some crazy like improv jams around like some of the shit off this record, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from them. I've never been a fan, to be honest with you. Like I've heard about them forever, and like I definitely like that last At the Drive-In record. And I don't know. I guess like when I heard about At the Drive-In, uh, I mean, or when I heard about the Mars Volta, I guess it was shortly after At the Drive-In broke up, and I know my brother really likes them. Like he was starting to get into them. And I don't know. I tried giving it a shot. Like, I don't know if it was this album. I don't know if it was only one of the other ones. I don't remember what I listened to, but I was just like, I don't know. It's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's because it was too complicated. It was too proggy, like it wasn't as just kind of like, brutal and like chaotic as like At the Drive-In seemed, you
Yeah.
know?
Weird how they walk that line, especially in some of like their later records of just like chaos, but it also is a 12-minute song.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
pro.
Well, I mean, like that's the thing. Like I loved parts. Like there was definitely moments in that album and well, let's talk about, Deloused for the time being. I mean, like listening to it now as long as I have and as many times as I have, I mean, there's definitely moments to it that I really, really like. I really like how they definitely lean into their Latin roots and they definitely sound very Santana-like.
Yeah.
Um, there's definitely moments where they sound just like, At the Drive-In, and then there's like the more kind of spacey things where they kind of like, jam out and like, kind of go a little psychedelic for a while, which is cool for a moment. I mean, like not crazy about the 12-minute long songs, but I mean, they have they like as I get older, I'm more okay with it, like
Oh
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
as long as you have the time to dedicate to it, like to really be able to sit down with it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an hour. This record is an hour.
Yeah.
Deloused, it's it's crazy. You got to be there for it, you know? If
Mhm.
you want to put it on, like, and it's not, just, oh, I have 5 minutes, I'll put on a track. Maybe I'll put on something from Deloused. It's like, would
Right.
you? Like, probably not. You're
No.
you're listening to it to like trip out.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to kind of listen to the whole thing. I mean, like one song just doesn't make sense on its own, really.
Yeah. Or at
Yeah.
least like know the context. Like
Mhm.
now, like having heard it so much, I could probably put on like yeah, one of them.
Yeah, some you were talking about like liking certain parts. There's like I will put on certain songs specifically for the parts, especially as like a drummer.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I need to ingest some of that fucking
Yeah,
crazy
drunk
bullshit
shit.
like or take the veil serpent taxed.
Hmm.
There's like a weird ass part like 3 minutes in, I think, that I've never been able to like conquer on drums.
Yeah, this John Theodore, right? He's the drummer.
Mm.
Fucking insane, that guy.
Yeah, he's
Static.
ridiculous.
He like fucking plays with Queens of the Stone Age now too.
Yeah, is he's a current member?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
at
Because
least.
that band drum-wise is not really that impressive.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
like
Dave Grohl
heavy and
shit
he's
is
tight,
sick, but
but
No,
yeah,
it's tight, but it's not like this. I mean, it's not like as kind of like what do you call it? Like aerobatic, like acrobatic, you know?
yeah,
yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah, I mean, this shit
I
just
love it.
makes me tired listening to it.
Yeah,
I eat it up so
that
bad.
was
It's so
yeah,
sick.
that was a huge. Like, when I first started playing drums, like obviously I loved this shit, but it took me like 5 years of playing before I started like really trying to learn some of this stuff, and after that, I obviously became super obsessed with
Right.
this. You know.
Well, so and when did you try to start playing drums?
I was like 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was like 15, when I was a sophomore, this was definitely, I was listening to it every single day and like finally learning, okay, well, this isn't just punk drums where, 2/4, like you're literally playing ghost notes, and it just opened up my whole horizon of
Yeah.
new ways about the instrument.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like, so what do you think like when you're first starting off playing drums, I mean, like what was the first like couple of things that like you tried to learn?
It was when we were playing Green Day Rock Band,
Hmm.
Beatles Rock Band. So I was learning all those songs on Xbox. And when I got that shit to expert or whatever on the little drum pads, I like finally just
Yeah.
like our dad already had a drum kit because he's a musician and stuff. So I just took every song that I learned and started playing it on real kit.
Hmm. Cool.
But yeah, it was like really simple stuff.
Yeah, well, Green Day, I mean, like, the whole Dookie era, Trey Cool, I mean, like, that's fast stuff. It's, pretty
Yeah,
fast fills. I mean, that's kind of good practice, I feel.
totally.
Yeah. American Idiot was like our favorite record when we were like little kids. Like probably like I guess when it came out or whatever. Or no, because our dad got into it later. But when we first heard American Idiot, it was like blew our minds. I think like yeah, because there are the 7 minute songs in there too.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Homecoming and Jesus of Suburbia, like which is like probably a theme in our lives that like these long songs, these like big passages
Yeah,
are
that's
just
true.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys are leaning into that now, huh?
In a way, I mean, not so much like the way that we write, but just try, like, I love like storytelling.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Right.
think we're condensing it as of lately. It's like
Hmm.
maybe seeing the story of it. And then
Yeah.
yeah.
Wild. Okay. And Matt, bass for you. So I mean like, when did you start picking up bass?
Right when Venus Twins started, actually. I'm a guitar player. I
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have always been a guitar player since I was 14. Um
So from sax or you had guitar before sax.
after. Like our
Okay.
dad we had a guitar in the house before I had a sax. But I didn't pick it up really until I was 14, like a freshman in high school. And I was 19, I guess, when I started playing bass. Like
Yeah.
Jake just wanted me to play bass in Venus Twins. It was an octave lower than guitar, and everything we were doing on guitar and drums, like when we would jam, was just like,
So empty.
yeah, it felt empty. It was
And
like
there were ways that we could have gone about it, but I think there's just the short way was just changing.
the fast route to, yeah, lower guitar was just play bass.
Right,
And
right,
we were lucky enough to, like, our dad also had a bass. Like, he had bass, guitar, drums. So like we just fuck around like whatever.
right.
Um, yeah. I've always played like a guitar though, I feel like too. And more recently a noisemaker or whatever, like with experimenting with pedals and
Oh yeah, of
cool
course.
stuff. But
Huh. That's interesting. So, a couple of examples. I mean, Bronson Arm, he plays a what kind of guitar is it? It's a what do they call that guitar? It's like a tenor guitar or something?
oh, a baritone guitar?
Baritone guitar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the Triceratops, another duo from New York. I just played with them this weekend actually, and I
Oh,
was interested in what he was doing because I was just like, guitar and drums, it's all it is. But he's got some like I guess he uh plays 2 amps.
hmm.
So I guess he kind of A/Bs it with like a Morley pedal or some shit, like some switch pedal.
Okay.
So he gets a lot of low end, but like a super low end. Like it plays like a bass, but it's guitar, it's 6 strings. And
Mhm.
he obviously he plays kind of both lines, like, bass to a degree, like very minimalistic, very, very root notey, and then like can play some of the chord stuff for the guitar work. It's insane.
So
Yeah,
sick.
that's awesome. It's for a two piece, like you definitely have to learn like your low notes and your high notes. You almost have to separate them and then like know when to combine them,
Right.
like the piece. It's like playing left and right hand piano,
Yeah,
it's like
arranging.
Right, right. But then with amps too, it's just like I feel like it's like some of his high end kind of got lost with the bass notes because
that's
like bass has a just a tendency to kind of overpower shit.
yeah. I guess that's a good, maybe somewhat of a good problem, but also not.
It's better that way than the other way around, but
I
yeah.
mean, maybe, yeah, I don't
It
know.
depends because his work is like, I mean, it's kind of more pop related kind of song structure. So like it's kind of important to have like those kind of guitar chords kind of shimmer through the like more so than the bass notes I feel like at
Ah,
times.
okay.
See,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it depends on what kind of music you're doing. But
Yeah, 100%.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I wonder, I guess he was probably using a bass amp and a guitar amp.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember exactly which kinds. Like he literally had like 2 stacks. There was a stack behind the drummer, a stack behind him.
That's so
Fuck
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Um, so let's see. As far as this album is concerned, like I said, I don't have anything about any of these songs like separately. I didn't even want to attempt it. I was just like, I can't understand the lyrics. I can't make out the story. I was just like, fuck this whole album. But I mean, I thought it was most important to just kind of like mention, like kind of where the album comes from and kind of like its relationship to what you guys do and kind of like your history with it. Um, I did want to say something though about Jeremy Ward. He was the sound manipulator guy on the album. Like, are you familiar with him?
I'm not.
Okay, because it turns out he was the cousin of Jim Ward, who was the guitarist from At the Drive-In.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was weird that Omar and Cedric would go, leave that band ultimately, probably and not on the best of terms, and then ultimately hook up with their bandmate's cousin, who, I mean,
Yeah.
he had a relationship with the band. I mean, like he was kind of always around, um, but they ended up, absorbing him and kind of having him be a very integral part to this band, really, but and it was just sad to hear that Jeremy passed away like the month before this album was released.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. I did hear about that.
Yeah, yeah, it was just a drug overdose. I mean, it was. I mean, it's horrible regardless, but I mean, there was no other kind of connection to it, or it didn't have his death didn't have anything to do with this album, because it was already done.
Mhm.
Um, so these guys, said this really beautiful thing about him. I'm not sure if it was Cedric or Omar, but they said Jeremy was like the one cool white guy, the only one who wasn't judgmental to us and never talked down to us. he was inquisitive rather than dismissive, like most people were. So that kind of made me think about the like these young guys first being involved with like hardcore punk music, first starting to tour, and it felt like people like like I'm thinking about when I was a young person like doing tours and stuff like that, and like how it felt like people like looked at you or treated you differently, um like have you guys felt that way, or do you feel that way currently?
I as a noisy artist for sure. Uh but
there's definitely like some sort of like self-consciousness about eh, just the type of shit that we make for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, and
That seeps into new songwriting for sure
for
too.
sure, yeah. And just being like the two piece, there's a certain stipulation there.
Like it's important not to like get tied up in those kinds of things, like what people think about you, because ultimately you just need to do what makes you happy and what like
But if you know, like, I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, I don't even want to give them the non-benefit of the doubt, meaning like, oh, they totally think this, you
Right.
know?
yeah, it could just be in my head that.
Yeah, I guess it's true. You never really know what people are really thinking, but I mean, I mean, like, especially like, I don't ever like to think about this, like when it comes to like bands and music and stuff, like, but like how important like a band's appearance is really. So I mean, like, like I know that I believe it's you, Matt, right? You actually kind of like took on the whole like stitching thing where because you actually do like to sew clothes, right?
hmm
So you make a lot of your own wardrobe.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Like, I like to wear something that I sew mainly. So I'm actually literally not now. Damn it.
It's ironic. 'Cause
And
I
now
made,
you are.
I
Jake
made,
started sewing after he like put it out or whatever,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great. It's great to be able to do that. I mean, like even if it's just I mean like like I don't know. I think making clothes like technically like from scratch is kind of hard. Like
yeah.
without any kind of specific training, but to alter things and to kind of like, I mean hardcore punk and shit like that ever since we were kids. I mean like, you have to put on a patch. You have to be able to stitch the patch onto your jacket or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sick. There's
Is that
definitely
kind of how you got your start in doing it or?
my ex taught me how to sew, and she was always into like patchwork and cool shit like that.
Yeah.
Um so it was like not actually from the hardcore punk like stance. Um but I definitely borrow from it. I made this shirt that's just like a bunch of my band shirts that I had like together. It's
Yeah.
definitely, but it's different, you know. It looks like it's like a battle vest or whatever, but it's just a shirt. And
Right.
same with this hoodie that I've like been sewing up for a couple years now. Just I need to fix it actually. Yeah, I wear it all the time though. It's got like Portrayal of Guild on it, My Chemical Romance, like it's definitely yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, like, like, I don't think, I don't know. It is important, but it's not, right? Like, when it comes to like making music, you don't want to think about how like your looks matter. But like, I grew up here in Providence. And so when I was a teen, that's kind of like at the height of the whole Fort Thunder thing. So, all those RISD students kind of like inhabited this warehouse and kind of called it Fort Thunder, and they just fucking like made art out of the whole entire building. And that's kind of like what your style reminds me of. It's just like, like, I mean, Brian Gibson and Brian Chippendale of Lightning Bolt. I mean, like they kind of still to a degree epitomize that kind of like appearance, like Brian Chippendale specifically. He always kind of still looks like he makes all of his own clothes, and like obviously the fucking face mask he wears with the fucking microphone in it. Like that's kind of like what your stitching like looks like to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them, and I love yeah, like that's definitely a huge inspiration.
It's so
And I think
important to be like transparent in the art that you make, but also just like in the way that you behave and like what the things that you put on yourself. You need to like, or like as an artist, I think it's important to be as like honest with what like in every aspect in what you're doing.
And it's
Right.
just fun, and it's something to wear when I play. It's like, well, I kind of like want
The whole
to
package
express
together.
myself this way, and it goes hand in hand with the music and or like my lifestyle.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, because like, you know, like I guess there is a certain aspect to like kind of wearing a uniform that is cool about being in a band.
Mhm.
But I don't think that you guys are wearing a uniform per se. I mean, I feel like you're genuinely, artistic and like, have this sense about you, like fashion wise, where you wear what you like, and if
Mhm.
it has that look to it, then that's fine. And it seems obviously, you can wear that when you're not performing, like now, or you can wear it while you're performing, and everyone, I guess the audience might see it as like, I don't know, a costume to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I just want them to see us like I just want to have like more of myself to give in
Right,
something during a performance or whatever. Like any way that I can show people in a different way, like this is who I am,
right.
that
Okay.
transcends music.
yeah, it is like a costume or uniform. It's like what you want is the uniform, What you like is the uniform.
Yeah.
It's so it's not a uniform, but it also is. It's like, yeah,
Because
just
you dress like that all the time. It doesn't matter if you're playing or not.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
It's
lifestyle, I guess.
I would say so. Just yeah.
Are you
It,
guys like visual artists at all?
I wish I did it more. I mean, with sewing, yeah, I suppose, and I like to draw just here and there, but I'm not serious about drawing.
You don't consider yourself an artist or have ever like kind of like had a natural inclination to making visual art?
I mean, we did paint a little here and there as kids, but just a little, like
Yeah, I don't really like if anything visual, it's like clothes that we make or whatever.
yeah, I like wouldn't
Right.
consider myself a visual artist, but then if somebody argued with me about it, said like, "No, you make clothes," it'd be like, "Oh yeah, I guess I am." You
It,
know?
it's a, it's a different medium, you know. I mean, it's yeah. I guess you could say that. I mean, I guess like I ask about being an artist in like kind of visual in a visual sense, like as if it seems that you've had training in music, so you never did any studying or anything like that, like visually.
Mm.
Well, I took a fashion design class when I was 14. Like we had it in high school, and so
Oh,
I always had an interest in doing stuff, but like I didn't learn really anything. I guess I learned how to hand sew
no, okay,
class, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, I know. I actually should like take a class or something, make sure I'm doing everything right. But it's
Eh,
like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's getting the job done,
Mhm.
no, man, you gotta maintain that childish kind of
There we are. Now
joyful
we're
kind of
talking.
playing around. No, seriously, I mean like
Absolutely.
that's kind of the greatest thing. I mean, like, I like there's a premium on education and shit like that, but I mean, like, realistically, like, if you didn't go to school for music, even for as short as you went, I mean, like, you'd probably still be making the music you're gonna make.
Actually, I think you're right because we also were trying to sway away from the music, like the music school thing. It was like I think that's also why we started making like weird music.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, just keep on doing it, man. Keep on doing what you're doing. I think it's going great.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you.
So, I don't know. I mean, I guess that wraps it up for this album. I mean, like I said, I don't have much for it. But it's great talking to you guys and getting to know you better.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Likewise.
You were saying how you're kind of like not doing a lot of shows, but I mean, what's up for you guys like in the horizon?
Well, we're just about done with this 12, 13 song record. So as soon as like we can get that mastered and sent out to whoever it needs to be sent to, like I'll book whatever
Yeah.
shows.
We'll
Like
definitely
I'd
be
love
touring and
to,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
Probably, I mean, if I had to say off the top of my head, like October, November. But
yeah.
yeah, we'd
Okay.
love to touch Rhode Island.
Yeah. We're just figuring out a new set too. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna play some of the new stuff and the old stuff and yeah.
Right. But so you know, so when the album comes out, you think like kind of at least nationwide tour?
I would say so.
I would love to,
Got
honestly.
to,
I'd love
yeah.
to do it again.
For
Okay.
sure. I would say so.
All right. Well, if nothing else, you can come to Providence. We'll have you here. I think you guys would go over really well here. I mean, you know, yeah, we'll figure it out. That'd be great.
Okay.
Cool.
Word, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope to see you there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for doing this. It's been great talking.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah,
thank you.
likewise.
Theme song written and performed by Jeff Robbins of 123 Astronaut.